Ready to go live as the pistol is about to start any second now, and we will not keep you waiting a minute longer as we now have a stop call come in. So you guys got excited, I got excited, we saw an ad, we loved the ad. Thank you Logitech for joining us here for sponsoring the final. Good to see you guys there, but we're maybe going to go live. Place your bets now on eSportsBets.com. Who's going live and when will that happen?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if they're going live right now. No, it seems they're not. They're talking about the bomb, the matchmaking bomb. Timer tick being 10 seconds longer. You can basically extend the round by 45 seconds just punting. It's pretty cool.
It's a great new feature.
Yeah. And yeah.
Well,
it's not much going on.
But this has been one of the best warm-ups you've ever seen.
Yes.
Sensational,
Very,
some might say.
Sensational, some might say, yes. As device, Headshot Smiths.
There you go. You're warming up for your play-by-play.
Yeah, very good.
Come on, let's give us some play-by-play.
No, wow. We see Dignitas buying Galeals and flashes, and we have a grenade on device.
Right.
As they move into the live.
I think you have a big future in this.
Yeah, thanks.
Whenever you're ready to stop playing, you can have my seat.
Yeah.
And I will take your seat on FNATIC.
Let's make a deal of that.
Yeah. Right. If you damage your teammate at the start of another round, you will be kicked. But assuming that that's not going to happen, we are live. Nope, we are stop.
A lot back and forth in this match.
It's a lot of back and forth right now. They're psyching each other out. Yeah, the tension must be very high. Let's go. We don't want to go to commercial simply because, you know, it could start any minute now or not. Let's talk about the wider kind of community right now. A lot of events, a lot of big tournaments ongoing at the moment. It must be refreshing for you. You must kind of not know where to turn. Which tournament to show up for?
Every tournament.
Yeah, you're gonna sign up for everything. Still?
Everything, even amateur leagues, and seems like we need it. You know, some warm up.
Clan-based Euro Cup.
Yeah.
Gonna rebuild it, bring it back. But good activity in the scene. DreamHack Summer's coming up next. How are your guys' focuses for that?
Well, obviously our focus is DreamHack Summer. It's a big tournament. DreamHack is always like kind of the most important tournament, especially being in Sweden, home soil and everything. And yeah, so our focus is DreamHack Summer. We're boot camping and preparing and kind of reforming ourselves, and we kind of trying a new style, and hopefully it will work out for DreamHack Summer. And yeah, we're about to go live. I assume.
Well, we were told. We were told. We were tricked. You can see also the upgrade to the FACEIT Studio. We've now got these cool graphics in the background. You can see Gragas there just chilling. See? Upgrades away.
Yeah. And Stu.
Yeah. I painted them myself with my tongue. We're going to go live.
Very good tongue painter.
Yeah. Oh.
Skills.
We assume that the game has just gone live. That's the word we're getting in our ear. And let's try this once again. It's Dignitas versus Titan in the FACEIT Spring League winner bracket game 1. And
we are in warm-up.
We are back in warm-up. One of my favorite places in a game because generally, you know, it's one of the safest places.
Yeah, you can't make a mistake. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
For practice.
I get very nervous in front of crowds.
Yeah.
So.
As now it seems to be live. Existence going for nades. A lot of let's see here. A lot of nades on Team Dignitas. So I would say it's probably going to be a set strat towards B pretty quickly, as Titan actually doesn't have anyone towards B.
Interesting start from Titan, or interesting layout from Titan. They have now moved one player over to that side, but they'll sneak in above him as Auto Director keeping us at A when the action's all kicking off at B. And here we go. There is AZ, the man that Devilwalk called out to be the danger man of the moment for Team Dignitas. As he nades back, bomb has been planted, and we're 5-on-5 after plant. Titan lose existence, first man down, and Dignitas have played this one by the book and looking pretty hot. Titan ready to make their entry here through the front side, but they will lose MBK to AZ's headshot, and this is looking very, very good. Kenny S decides to dispatch of the first man for Titan, but they are dropping like flies, the Frenchman, and that leaves just one, and he's out as well. Great play from Dignitas, but ultimately, it's really easy to do that when there's no one at B.
Yeah, I'm wondering why they didn't have anyone at B. Seems like they already had a guy peeking mid, so him being short was kind of a waste. I would rather have seen Titan put a guy with like faster info for the rotation guys instead of being like pushed up short. But Titan made a gamble, didn't work out, and perfect after plant from Dignitas.
Yeah, ultimately it was kind of two all-ins, an all-in at A and an all-in at B, and well, for Dignitas it landed on the red of the Danish flag.
Truly did, as Team Dignitas already picked up 3 kills in this anti-eco round, and Smith's actually picking up 2 kills in mid.
With that CZ, if you get the perfect range and you control your, you control the recoil. There we go. I was going for reflex. You control the reflex, then you can absolutely nail it, and that's exactly what he did. But it's only Scream left standing, and he will be finished trying to escape out of the window. 3 kills though for Team Titan.
They had 3 entries, only Smiths and Scream left, but they picked up 3 frags. Very good from Smiths, and Dignitas is looking very short on money after that anti-eco. So it's going to be interesting going into the weapon round after this, as Titan just bought a couple of pistols.
See, Dignitas will push in. Titan will want to make this as expensive as they can. They'll know that money's just an inside and out. And they do get themselves 3 kills. Devices the 2 for Dignitas, but we're on a 2-on-3 in favor of Titan here. As they lose to Zipnik's grenade, Mr. Smiths, who again fragged himself won this round as Zipnix is now on top of that site, pushes out and finishes off business as Dignitas will get themselves their 3rd round.
This is, this is dangerous for Dignitas. They have almost no money left after winning the pistol and going for the anti-ecos. So Titan have a massive opportunity to actually string 2 rounds in a row as CT, and that's huge.
And you can see that conversation that both Dan and James had. It's Kenny S and this AWP. They give it to him. It's what he is known for. It's what he is best for. But it's the weapon that, again, when I saw them on Mirage earlier in this tournament, it wasn't a natural fit for the way that they played. So we'll see as he roams. Kenny S is the he's the Cristiano Ronaldo of this team. You have to build the team around him. You have to make it work. And otherwise, you'll see MBK and Smith both getting a kill. Zipnix pulls one back as MBK goes down. Smith avenges, and Titan are now just 1 frag away, and they will get that. Dignitas lose their 1st round, and the danger that you called has come true.
Yeah, now Dignitas is forced to an eco, but that round was really weird. It looked really well for Dignitas. They had 3 guys pushed up short with basically no info of them being there for a long while, as Kenny S was smoked off at window. But it was just a very, very good hold, solid hold from Smiths and MBK. And yeah, they basically got mowed down.
There's Kenny S with that AWP. Doesn't quite connect this time around as Dignitas are on a save, and Kenny S will have called the movement. Gets reinforcements from existence, and will peek with his EWP. But there's existence looking to pick himself up a frag, and Titan should clean up this Dignitas eco potentially without loss. They do lose MBK, whose stats are pretty poor in the opening 5 rounds, but MBK's actually had a very good tournament.
Yeah, you know, he's a very smart player, very defensive, smart player, and he's kind of that guy in Titan who does kind of the shitty parts of a role. You don't go aggressive. You have a little bit less fun than others, might say, but a very, very important player for Titan.
See Kenny S and Smith now. Smith with the auto sniper.
Seems like Dignitas 4 spot. You got a Deagle on device, which is interesting. the smokes rain in on A.
Here you see Existence ready to rack in. It's going to be Xyp9x who gets the first frag. Xyp9x goes down, but Scream and MBK pick themselves up a kill each. Dignitas in on the scene. It's KennyS and AWP are going to have to stop them from getting over towards that site. Grenade comes over towards him. He'll poke back into position as he and Smiths will have crosshairs trained on that bomb site. The smoke covers it, and they cannot get anywhere near that. It's Device with an important movement to move round the back as he'll spy KennyS to...
KennyS is really important in this situation. He has to survive for as long as the bomb is there. Try to pick him off as the other guys kind of don't know what's going on. Dignitas is taking it slow.
There is KennyS getting himself the frag onto Fetish. Follows up with the second one. He had but a pixel to hit. And you better believe he connected. And now we're 2-on-1. MBK and KennyS against the bomb carrier. Can they hold this round for against Dupree? Dignitas they can. MBK waited it out. He had very little health that entire time, and he made sure he was hard to find and showed himself at the vital moment. 3-3. Titan pull it back.
Yeah, it was really. They had really good entry, Dignitas. I'm surprised they didn't go for the plant faster, because they should have known that all of the Titan players were towards mid, and they had that smoked off. They could have pushed for the plant.
Their smokes were perfect.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised they waited for so long.
Here we go. Scream will see action here. Gets himself the first. Decides about not getting the second there. AC will pick that up, and that'll be an M4 and an afterplant here as Xyp9x is ready to go through. And things just got a little bit difficult for Titan on what was supposed to be an eco.
This is really scary for Titan. If the Existence dies here, now he gets the frag, but it could have been really scary there for Titan. Seems that it's calming down for them. As they should be able to retake this with Terrorist, no armor, just an M4.
Two frags coming in for Dignitas. Makes it expensive. Bomb will be defused by Existence, but only two men get away. And that's KennyS with his AWP and Existence.
It's kind of a weird situation there on site, where Scream kind of shot at him and just left him be.
He just assumed it would die.
Yeah.
So,
aimbot not corrected.
Smiths will run with that AWP again. In fact, a three-man AWP defense. MBK picking it up here. What have they got in their locker? We start with KennyS. And I can't wait to see this one unfold.
This is interesting. Is Smiths at CPL as well and MBK in B apartments?
Hit from KennyS and a miss as he'll push through. Goes for the second bite of the cherry. He connects. It's MBK who goes down, courtesy of Device. And that AWP will hit the deck with it. And we'll be back to only 3 AWPs in the game at the moment.
Yeah, 1 AWP down and 3 to go, I guess. As Dignitas seem quite undecisive on what to do. The bomb on T-spawn is kind of wiggling around towards B and A. As he decides to go towards B now, so I'm expecting them to go for a B push in a short while, waiting for the underground guy to make his work.
Kenny has flashed, has reinforcements coming through though. And now we'll see Scream with Fetish there, going to get the kill. Again, a little bit bemused by that one, but Fetish does get himself a headshot onto Scream. It'll be Existence, then the Avengers, but that AWP of Device dispatches of Smiths, and we're in a 2-on-3 situation. KennyS and Existence to recover an afterplant here on the B site, as Dignitas well set up for this one. You wonder whether Titan are going to fancy it, as Existence will come through. They will down that AWP, and they will decide to go for it. KennyS outed, though, by Dupree, and Existence will push in now, going for the defuse on his lonesome. Xyp9x only has 21 points of health, but the bomb will surely blow at this time, and Dupree finishes off the job. And, well, that was a really odd round.
Yeah, it was a really odd round, but I think Dignitas played pretty well. They smoked and flashed off KennyS and CPL from the underground guy, and then the nades came over from A, slope, as, was it Fetish who pushed up alone? And the other guys just went towards B. They had the rotation. The B guy, he had a peek, but he backed off to kitchen. And Dignitas just got an easy entry on B.
Good hit there as Existence goes down. Kenny S was the man behind him. Existence did, Device did see both players popping up. And but he has the sighter there from the man who's pushed down towards the tunnel. Kenny S will fall back.
I like what Dignitas is doing. They're going for the fast entry, then backing off, letting Titan wonder what's going on, wasting nades, and, you know, just kind of deciding on the info they get. From Titan actually trying to get info, but...
The nades comment is really interesting. You can see the Dignitas still have 3 players fully naded up, ready to make their move when they do decide to go for a proper entry.
Yeah, this is really, really a smart play by Dignitas. Kenny S is kind of hesitant peeking mid. I'm not sure why. Seems like he doesn't want to make the mistake.
Oh, walking onto Device's crosshair was Kenny S. Auto Director took us away from the action, but there's Scream poking his head up. Device down. Zipnik avenges with a headshot, and MBK will pick up that AWP. Rattles it off towards the top there, but it's going to be MBK taking a lot of damage. He needs Smiths to help him, and Smiths has got problems of his own, courtesy of Dupree. And this should be another round for Dignitas, and as MBK tries to escape with that AWP, he will be down by actually a lovely shot from Dupree, straight in the head.
I think Titan need to be more aggressive now. They seems to be kind of hesitant on what they want to do. They lost the entry, and they kind of just stayed in place. They didn't have info mid. Kenny S was kind of like wobbling around, and yeah, it's very undecisive. I would recommend that they actually try to push for the info, get it, and instead of being so hesitant.
They've not had an entry frag in a little while. They've not been able to set the pace of a round, and you can see them push out, and that time, it being an eco was a little of a more riskier chance to take. They're going to push out here, try to see if they can nade down anyone. But that's a tough situation to try and win. But they went for it.
Yeah, Team Dignitas is really showing how good they are on anti-ecos. I think it was that opportunity when Smiths killed them, this one guy who killed them. But overall, they have a very good plan, well thought out plan for the anti-ecos. As, yeah, it's only Kenny S left. Got a kill, but he shouldn't be able to find anything more as Dupree takes him down in window. Yeah, I would like to see Titan actually going for an aggressive push. Maybe push 3 up middle while they block the sites with smokes and nades.
Device is winning the AWP war in a big way right now.
Yeah.
Yes, Kenny Ace has 8 frags, you can see there, but Device has got 10 important frags that have opened up rounds and allowed Team Dignitas to get in there.
Seems like they're doing an interesting choice here. They're actually boosting Kenny S short, while no one was at B in the beginning. They know Dignitas takes it slow, they have the time.
Scream's going to see action here as he dispatches of AZ. Second man does poke his head out there, but is very aware that Scream is looking. Fetish comes around the corner. Headshot dispatches of Existence. Kenny S now having to quickly get back over towards that A site as he checks to see if anyone's coming up the rear. They're not. It's MBK now trying to get over towards that side as well. Dispatches of Dupree, and we're 3 on 3 here. And Dignitas will now...
I kind of wish they want to push for the site faster to get the plant, but right now they're getting dismantled by playing too slow when they actually take the site.
Trading frags. Zipnik's the last man standing. Still going to get it as well. Great play from Zipnik. That's 3 that round. And it was the headshot in the end that finished it off, but great play from Zipnik.
Yeah, absolutely. He clutches it, but I still think that Dignitas has the chance to take the site faster. They get the 2 entries on A, but they kind of slow things down, and it becomes a battle of getting the plant even. But Zipnik's great play from Apartments, getting those 3 frags and clutches on 1 and 2.
Having lost the pistol round, Titan recovered back to a 4-3 lead. But since that point, they've lost 4 in a row now, and really struggling.
Yeah, they don't seem to know what to do, as AC just went for the plant.
Just charged for it. Just thought, they might not stop me. And second plant going to go in here as well. As it was dropped down, and, well, they took your advice. They went for a super
Very
quick
fast.
plant. As Dupree gets himself a frag onto MBK. Kenny S comes in and trades as we have 3 on 4, but those 3 have
it's
guns.
kind of an awkward situation for Dignitas. Dupree needs to get this frag.
Timing of this entry from Titan is going to be vital if they want to make something of it. They do get themselves the first and the second. It's all on Fetish now, 1 on 4, and he will dispatch of the first, but it's the AWP from Existence, picked up from Device, that dispatches of them, and they will go in, and they do have a kit to finish off that defuse. And Titan, no sooner do we start quoting how many rounds they've lost in a row, they stop the rot.
I'm not sure why AC went for the plant that quick. He must have thought there was a smoke on ramp, so he was totally safe. But he was spinning around with that bomb plant and...
happy as Larry.
Yeah.
I'm free.
But yeah, that was pretty weird seeing it was an anti-eco. Then I think they should have stayed with the slower paced game they had before. But yeah, now Titan actually has a chance to make this comeback. Otherwise, 8 rounds ST is really, really strong as Dignitas pushes up on Catwalk for a B split.
Fetish leads the charge in. Smith will see action here as he comes in, gets himself the first. Existence and Kenny S all have frags, but there are 2 Dignitas frags sandwiched in the middle there. But Kenny S is AWP, dispatches of debris. Bomb has been planted, but it's all on AZ now. 1 on 3, right in the thick of things at that B site, as he has going to see the first man not get past him. Kenny S escapes with 19 points of health, and Titan pick themselves up their 2nd round in a row.
Yeah. It would have been really difficult for Titan to actually win if they got that anti-eco, but it seems like they're actually on a force buy. This is the last cash Dignitas has, and Titan is actually building up a pretty good economy. This is looking good for Titan, actually.
Dignitas with a full complement of nades. If they lose this, they will be saving in the last round of the half.
Probably not.
Well, true. They won't save. They will be screwed for cash.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
And
Kenny S and Smiths both get frags. Zipnik's out, Device follows him, and it's Hazy who will get one back on the board for the Danes. As they move forward now, it's going to be Smiths who's looking for love as Hazy.
Smiths is actually up mid, and he has spotted the bomb, and I'm not sure Dignitas knows this.
Dupree and AZ both get kills. We're down to just Smiths versus AZ. Both have 2 kills this round as well. And AZ, no one's got any idea where Smiths is. They've not seen him in a while. And AZ's going to go walking. Smiths should, and I think will, just stay here. Let that clock run down as much as he can. In fact, he begins to peek, and he will get seen. But it doesn't matter. With a shot like that, it doesn't matter whatsoever. And that will be 7-7 going into the last round of the half.
And as we can see on the scoreboard, Smith is actually top fragging, so he's having a really, really good game for making this comeback. They were down 4-7, and now 3 rounds in a row, and Dignitas on that screwed economy.
3 Galils, a handful of nades. Only AZ who got those kills in the last one with a happy set. But let's see, this has been a game of ups and downs, to put it politely, and lots of odd rounds.
I think they're gonna push A instantly when the mid guy actually get contact, as they're pushing in. Kenny S gets the first kill on Dupree.
And there it is. Frags a piece for Titan, and it's only Device who got one back. 8-7, Titan come back in the end, and we'll go into the half 1 round to the good up. I think it's interesting to say who'll be the happier of that, because Titan at times looked brilliant, but at other times looked very vulnerable, and Dignitas looked hot.
Titan is gambling a lot. I've seen they've almost no round they have had actually a guy on B. So every B round Dignitas actually did was like a clean entry. As the pistol goes underway, seeming like a fast A push. See if that comes through. All from slope this time.
Oh, look, a man in B.
Yeah, it's a rare sight.
Titan will push in towards that A side as they see Dupree. He gets himself the first. Kenny S goes walking, and Existence gets himself the second, but Kenny S hopped right into danger as Scream pushes in for Titan. They have a man advantage, and they have the bomb. AZ and Device just 8 points of health. Will try to recover this site. AZ does get rid of Smiths with a headshot, but it was pricey to his health as well. Dignitas desperate to try and reclaim this site. It's 2 on 2 now, but 2 fully healthed Frenchmen as they will move in. Scream with one coming right to his left, and he will get... Oh, how did he 180 drop AZ there? AZ will be kicking himself, but Device just picks him off as he has to move in towards that side as the bomb ticks louder and louder. It's Existence getting further and further away from him, And Titan will pick up the round and get the elimination as well. Great work from Scream and Existence. 2 frags apiece.
Important part about that round is they picked off the guy on CT. So doing a retake only from mid is really, really difficult. And they could just run the clock down, as you saw with Existence. The other guys could just take duels while Existence actually set up for the safe win of the round.
You know, we made comments about Kenny in the lead up to this game saying Titan are improving, but Kenny has not necessarily been the Ronaldo of the game. He's dropped a 20 bomb in this, and he's looking very good.
Yeah, seems like they've found the spot Kenny S needs, the place where he needs to be. And
it's not necessarily been with the AWP, though, when he's been the strongest.
He's been really good with the rifles. And but he did make a couple of great rounds on the A side there in the end.
Smith gets himself the frag onto Zipnik with that Galil, and Dupree will follow up. Dupree with that nickname, wanting some eSports dubstep.
Yeah, and Titan doing a very, very smart move. They know they picked off the guys on mid, and they're just hammering in on this guy. AC, drop down, in car, getting the plant, playing a safe anti-eco. Very good job, Titan, as they should be able to take this cleanly.
Nice work from them. Fetish and Device, the last 2 standing there. Really just looking for scraps at this point against a 5-man after plant. And it'll be Kenny S. Aggressive there, loses a fair bit of health, and that could have been a free kill he gave away, but didn't. 10-7, and it's important to note, giving away free kills on eco rounds are what left Dignitas in a bad shape in round 4 last time around.
Yeah, exactly. That's what made Titan actually come with that 4-round comeback. They stringed rounds together, got the money, but then, you know, Dignitas came back, and it was another comeback. The 3rd comeback this game by Titan. But, yeah, another eco on Dignitas, as they're going with this slow and steady style of the anti-eco, which I like.
In Titan, if you add together the 4 they won at the end of the first and the 3 they won, won on this one, it's there's 6 rounds in a row up. Fun with maths here on Sesame Street. 1, 2. As this big side, assuming Titan close this out, will be 4 rounds down. Dignitas quickly poke out. Fetish is going to get himself a kill onto Scream. And although they do lose 3 players down onto 30, 19, and 17 health.
This is interesting. I think they're kind of thinking that Titan will go B now, since they saw so many men towards A. But Smits and MBK has other things in store for Dignitas, as they take over A pretty much by themselves.
Easy will be the man who comes through, and he'll see action first, but it's Existence who says goodnight to him, and MBK follows up from afar onto Zipnik's bomb to go down. Only Dupree to be able to stop that, and he's not going to. It's 11-7, and a big, big round for Dignitas now. Yeah,
this is really important. They have the money. They bought an AWP on Fetish, and Zipnik is kind of hesitant what to buy. So they have an AWP, at least. So I'm guessing he's just going to take the normal peaks on mid CPL window.
But quick to point out, look at the money as it goes away for Titan. That's the difference in round 4 in the second half to where Dignitas were again. Titan can go and buy a Ferrari at the end of this round if they so choose.
Yeah. Much needed Ferrari.
Yeah. New feature.
You can rush B very fast. And Titan is just poking around. Oh, great nades. That's a good move from them. They know he wants to jump there, by the car, get the info, and they just peeked out, threw the nades, and got 80 damage on Zipnik.
Zipnik has his hair singed, and Kenny S has a frag. Fetish is out. Not the start Dignitas were looking for. AC goes down, and Scream will help himself to the headshot. Only Device putting up resistance as MBK is out for the count as he pushed in. But Dupree will add to that tally as Dignitas pull back. You know that Zipnik is in here, but with very low health as well. Zipnik, though, doesn't seem to care as he gets himself a headshot onto 1 and a second. And Dignitas have turned this one right back around. Now it's time for Kenny S. Hits himself the grenade, the basketball shot onto Zipnik. Gets himself the AK. Can he go on for a 1v3? There goes the second. Not going to do it. Device shuts him down. And this Shoutcaster's excitement becomes more muted.
Yeah. Really, really important round from Device there. He pushed down slope, saw MBK was alone. The rotation came into B, and they held off the push. So I think that the information Device gathered there was crucial for them actually putting up a fight that round, with Titan having 2 entries already.
11-8. Titan bought guns, not a Ferrari. What a shock.
They're trying to punish Sipnix for jumping there. Trying to go for a quick peek with all, but this time Sipnix just smoked them off and played a bit safer.
They see that as an easier kill. He's got to do, Sipnix has got to do what he's doing there. You know, every player holding B does have to find out if anyone's coming there, and they're trying to punish him.
And it's kind of a slow-paced game. I'm interested in Dignitas setup on A. They're kind of leaving mid behind and holding 3 guys here on A.
Rattle off a few shots. One of those nades did do 50 damage to Smiths.
And Titan seem pretty uncertain of where to go. They're just peeking around mid, taking over catwalk this time.
Scream gets himself the kill onto AC. He went down to 8 points of health at the start of that exchange, but still goes down. There's Fetish. Existence out for the counters. He just walks right onto the end of that crosshair. Kenny S returns the favor. Good night, Fetish. As the headshot dispatches of him, MBK comes in and Device is out. Sipnix gets the call. You're needed at A because the bomb, is about to say goes down, but Dupree have better ideas. Wow. Can you believe it? 3 kills in 3 seconds. Sipnix is out for the count. It's Scream 1-on-1 with Dupree, but Dupree is looking for a forfer and is going up against a man with just 8 points of health. 2 frags for his trouble.
Scream doesn't have the time. He has to run and save his AK. As Dupree actually made that round happen.
Awesome work.
3 entries on A. They thought they had the side. They were out
Here's
planting.
Dupree. 1, 2, and I'll have a 3rd.
Why not? So great play by Dupree, hiding on site, getting that sneaky entry on the planter, and then getting them caught off guard while they're pushed for better positions.
Just witnessed the producers giving each other a high five for getting that replay so quickly. eSports
nice
production
view.
love, yeah.
And Titan actually forced bot with Scream having that AK. He dropped the AK though, which is interesting. Buying full nades. I picked an AK up again. Smith's got low. As they trade out guns around. And Titans, Kenny S actually get an entry on AC and mid.
And you see Dignitas deep in A. They're waiting, and this is exactly the same setup they had last time. If it wasn't for Dupree, the man we're auto-directed on a lot.
Yeah.
We've got great visibility of Dupree's movement there, courtesy of Auto Director. And Existence down to 8 points of health and punished. Fetish pokes out and dispatches off him. And the Great Dane, looking for another. The Frenchman down
to a dangerous position for Dignitas. They're kind of choked they're pushed in a corner where they're peeking from short, they're peeking from apartments, and they're going low with Kenny S wallbanging.
Wow, what a hit. Sipnix will follow up, gets rid of Kenny S, but his position's been exposed a bit, but gets himself the 2nd. And Device comes in, and that leaves MBK versus Device. AWP versus AK. Where's your money, Devil Walk?
He's got no time.
Didn't see that. The fatal flaw of the excited play-by-play caster.
Yeah. Yeah, MBK forced to save that round. They're leaving themselves with too little time to actually make the entry to the bomb site.
Second round in a row.
Yeah, and it's punishing them pretty hard. As Dignitas just playing it safe, they're playing it slow, and not letting Titan actually get the entries. And yeah, pushing for time.
1 AK and a CZ for Titan.
Yep, they gotta make something work now. I think they're almost taking too much time controlling mid. Dignitas seem pretty content on not even holding mid, like letting mid go. And Titan is still pushing a lot of men there. I think maybe they should try to go for a straight push like this one towards A, as they do on the recon.
You see the push coming in, and it'll be Device moving in. Dupree and AC help themselves to frags. There's 2 players left standing. It's MBK, the last man. Got himself a kill and is down. Interesting point you make there about surrendering mid. They put 3 players so deep in A so many times, and Xyp9x deep in B, that if it works, they just walk straight into a crossfire. But if it doesn't work, it gives them very little ability to move out and then reclaim the site after a plant.
Yeah, I think what Titan needs to do is actually control mid, but with fewer people. Let's say they go 2 there, maybe get him up short, and then back off to make an play on a site. Having the short guy cutting off the rotations.
And you see that focus again, looking for Xyp9x. It was kennyS who went looking for him. This time, Dignitas have made a big push out from their A site, moving Fetish and Device out looking for love, as kennyS is the man who will spy fast action, and it's AZ that goes down. It's Titan who have the opening kill. They chase in on Fetish, but Fetish hits 2! Scream, kennyS gone. Dupree follows up with Existence, and Titan that time unable to get past that brick wall that is Fetish.
And they have the bomb now. They know he's gotta have to move towards mid. They're rotating people in, and they probably know he's usually towards B, so they're holding underground pretty heavily.
Smith's the only man standing. Fetish is right on top of him. The grenade will take him down to 84 points of health. He spies the bomb, but then get himself a free frag onto Fetish. Maybe a second. There was a pixel there to be hit. He didn't do so, and he walked out into a firing squad of Danes. And it'll be Dignitas who take the lead for the first time in a while. And
it's very solid CT play coming out of Dignitas. They are not giving Titan any room to actually get the picks they need to push the sites. It seems like Titan is kind of questioning what to do when they don't get that duel for especially kennyS, who needs to get those picks.
MBK jumps onto a grenade there. A 2-3 CZ buy. They could have put together a semi-ambitious buy on this one, but waited it out. They're going to find themselves, if Dignitas close out this eco round, which they've done very well, 2 rounds down.
This Device is holding apartments.
Device just dispatched of kennyS, jumps down for a second, but Dupree had already got himself the kill, and only Scream offering any resistance for Titan. And
yeah, this is interesting. Titan rarely seem to find people. Even that round, they didn't see them. They kind of got caught off guard with the Device hiding up the balcony, and one at the spawn area just picking them in the back. And
you can't shoot what you can't see.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I'm wondering what's going through Titan's head right now. They're making a push towards A. MBK is left alone in abs, and Device takes him down. Now, Xyp9x is actually spamming and getting up quite a good chunk of damage towards Smith.
Look at AZ going walking there. kennyS must have heard him coming and just sat back and waited for him to walk around that corner and dispatched of him. As, he will push out now. Fetish
Mine is very spread out, so... And they know A is pretty much clear. Because they have a man pushed up slope, holding there. So they know it's gonna be mid/B. This is interesting.
Let's see what Titan can do to entry.
The whorehouse, as we call it in Sweden.
And why is that?
I have no idea.
Cultural variations. Dupree pushes in from behind and executes Scream. kennyS does get himself one back. Fetish will pull Dignitas right back into a one-man advantage as Existence goes down. Second one for Fetish. And the third. Take a bow, son. That's beautiful stuff from Fetish as Dignitas move into a 3-round lead. And Fetish just one by one, whack-a-mole style. And there is not much left for Titan. They need to win this round.
Yeah, I think they should go for a B push, a fast one, as... Team Dignitas is focusing A very heavily. They're letting mid go. They have 3 guys on A, and but it seems like Dignitas making the right calls as well. They were mid when they stopped going mid Titan, and you know, they're pushing the right angles.
Remember this Titan's map.
Yeah. And Fetish still getting info mid, even though he's smoked off quite heavily.
Fetish in that AWP in the second half has just, I mean, right on cue. He's been an immovable object.
Yeah, he's been really, really good. He's not that kind of an aggressive AWPer. He's holding the angles and he's doing his job and he's making it sure that no one comes by. So
he's sat I was about to tell you how many frogs he has, but he's just added one to it as Existence gets himself a bullet in the face. As MBK, Titan, and KennyS left to save what would be an upcoming match point. As we're running out of men. MBK almost getting excited. As Dupree in the end drops him, and it's 15-11 Dignitas on Titan's map. And it's looking really good.
The CT defense from Dignitas so defensive and making the small pushes.
Fetish 21, Dupree 25. That's not surprising. Look on the other side, KennyS 28. He's the one who's really offered the resistance, but every one of Fetish's frags have had a heavy price on them. They've been absolutely invaluable.
Yeah. Seems like they're actually going to maybe do a double fake here. As Device pushes in and gets the info, there's 3 guys there, the bomb is spotted, they're making the rotation towards A. Dignitas AC is calling the rotation as Scream pushed up slope.
Dignitas tried to get themselves some aggressive kills there. In the end, it ended up backfiring, costing them 3. They've returned the favor, though, with 2 of their own. Existence down, as is... Smith's still alive, sorry. And it'll be KennyS to move in. Bomb has been planted, and Titan have themselves around. They're going to need 3 more, though.
Yeah, they kind of got screwed by the information. They knew 3 people were in slope, but they had 2 people cutting off the rotations. AC jumped down from short, got caught off guard by 2 underground aiming, and they just went into a domino effect, and Titan picked up the round.
These girls fall like dominoes.
Yep. That's how you like them.
15-12.
And Titan still seem undecisive on what to do. They're letting KennyS have his space, pushing, trying to get the picks, but it's not really working out in the end. Very slow-paced game style right now, as Dignitas is set up defensively. Titan is making sure they don't make mistakes.
And in goes Existence, gets himself the frag onto Device. And this may be the cue for an attack from Titan as they jump through. AZ helps himself to one onto Scream, but KennyS finds himself in a bit of a tricky position to try and chase out this kill, and is being squeezed by the outcoming Zipniks as he pushes in, and the Dignitas sandwich begins to bite as AZ gets himself the frag onto MBK, and Existence follows as well. It's Smiths or bust for Titan in this first map. Remember, best out of 3 now here in the playoffs, as Dupree and AZ will go for an afterplant against Smiths, who has just 47 points of health.
He needs to pick up this first kill. Then it's a doable situation. They're spread out, so he's waiting for it.
Doesn't get the first, and Titan don't get the first map. It's Dignitas who, under some early pressure, have come back very, very strongly to pick themselves up map 1 against Titan. A great game there. Devilwalk, your closing thoughts on that first map?
A little bit too undecisive by Titan. I think they should have pushed quicker with more men at the same spot, but Dignitas making really good rotations, and their defensive play really pulled it off for them. I don't think Titan had a chance on the T side.
Well, we will very quickly go over to the analysis desk. And guys, what did you see in map 1?
Things, I think, in map number 1. A lot of interesting things indeed. James, I'm going to probably talk for quite a bit, so do you want to talk first?
Go. No, you go for it. You go for it. I'm just going to draw pictures on the map.
All right, excellent. So you're the artist here.
I'm a smiley face guy.
So it felt like Titan could never really find their groove in that match on the CT side. And I think even though they won 8-7 on the first half, I think it was really interesting how their setups kept changing. And it felt like the reason the setups kept changing is because Dignitas were really, really good on keeping their money really low. And for example, early on we saw a big money buffer starting to build. They were really building their economy were Titan on the CT side, which is obviously really important because they have these really expensive setups. Like we saw them trying to get a Scar really early on. They really want to play these double op setups, very expensive stuff. You know, there are other teams that can work very well defensively with just rifle setups. But Titan, it feels like they're most comfortable with those expensive setups. And very, very early on, I think on round 6, just when they were building it, they bought a Scar, they got a couple AWPs in there, and Dignitas pretty much crushed it. They were only able to save 1 AWP out of that. So they lost a lot of money. And then what we saw from Titan was they kept having to switch up their setups because their equipment kept changing dramatically, and they weren't able to get their, what they were obviously comfortable with. So it felt like because they weren't able to find their groove there, Dignitas were really taking a lot of rounds because we had KNS moving all over the place, Smith's changing setups a lot. It never seemed that static with them. And I think also what we saw was a lot of success for Dignitas when they were going for very well coordinated pushes on, for example, A. They were very successful there. And again, what we saw was these very dynamic setups from Titans. So when these pushes were coming in, again, I want to take the Virtus.pro game we recently saw as a good example. They had such good team play, very good counter flashes to support each other so that on the push, your CT teammates don't get too isolated. And we saw that happening a lot for Titan. They were getting isolated on the pushes, and that meant that they weren't able to frag as much as possible when Dignitas were rushing in. And I feel like even though they got 8-7, so they did really well on the CT side, I feel like with what they had, they could have done a lot more if they hadn't tried to grow too quickly, if they hadn't just decided to go, let's get Scar 2 AWPs like straight away, and that kind of broke their bank after a while. So that was a really nice first half from Dignitas, fighting back from some very rough positions. What did you see on the second half, James?
On the second half, I think it was 8-7. So I think Titan needed a few more rounds. I think they needed a 10-5 when they were on the CT side. On the second half of the map, I think we saw Titan. They tried to push. This drawing is just from when KNS was on A and he was defending it quite well on CT on the ones where they did defend it. On the second half, we saw Titan go for the standard setups where they smoke onto platform here, they smoke connector jungle area, and they smoke CT. But all the smokes came off. But then they got slaughtered quite a bit by the guy in shadow here. They didn't really. I mean, you had a lot of guys running from lower A, and they were kind of going this way. They're kind of going around here and trying to get over this way and go in this general area and look kind of towards CT. But I don't think they applied enough pressure in this area enough. That's because this guy pretty much covers this whole area here and up here as well. So I think they need to work on, like, they've got the smokes down, but taking the site is another question entirely, and I don't know if it's working out as well as they might want it to. I mean, it might be a case they could apply a bit more pressure with the guy in Palace. If he's wall banging this corner here, then and there's another guy maybe applying some pressure from there, they may have a bit more success. But we saw, I don't know, 4 or 5 times maybe they tried to push through there, but didn't really work out for them.
Yeah, I just want to quickly add before we go throw things back over to Tosspot. I really like the pistol round on the second half. We actually see, because we usually see on the B side of things, people usually put the focus on the B side of things because that's it's much easier to play for the A retake as the CTs on the pistol. But if they get straight in onto B, it's like so hard to take that back. So that's what's kind of in the meta game right now. We're seeing the CT sides, maybe even a 3-1-1, 3B, 1 CPL in the mid and 1 on A just at the start. But we actually saw, of course, Dignitas playing much more towards A. 4 players very close towards A here in connector. So actually that worked out really well because Titan actually rushed A straight up, which is to actually play against what's in the metagame. So it was actually very well predicted by Dignitas there. So that was very cute. But I think that's most of the major things that we had to pick up on there in that match. A very, very close and exciting one. And of course, we're going to be moving on to Inferno next, and that's going to be really exciting as well. Do you have any predictions about Inferno?
I think both teams have really good setups, and again, Inferno's one of those maps where it's hard to take A as terrorists, so it's going to come down to how good the T pushes are, how coordinated they are, and how good the CT holds are against them. So we'll see who comes out on top of that.
Definitely. So I guess it's time for a quick break, guys. I hope you enjoyed map number one, rather, of the first match. Stay tuned for Inferno between these two awesome teams. We'll be back very shortly.